Hello, welcome to the next 24 hours ahead. I am a tarot card reader based in Brooklyn, New York, and this is yet again a take two. Promise this is the way the cards came out because it's important. I can't change it. But just to kind of give where I am in how I do these readings, I get up in the morning, have my coffee. I don't read the headlines. I haven't read them yet. I try to have just as clear energy as possible to look at the next 24 hours ahead of what energies are available to us. And so actually don't know the headlines from overnight other than New York City was under curfew. I did get that emergency alert on my phone. But I was rambling a little bit in the first take, to say the least. So this is my reset button. I was talking a little bit about eclipses and how they are reset buttons and that we have three of them. Again, starting I think on June 5th or 6th. But in any event, we're going to get to it. First card we have here is the Eight of Coins. There's, I believe it's a Zen saying, the student asks the teacher, what do I do to become enlightened? And the teacher says, chop wood and carry water, do the work. And the student chops wood, carries water, goes through his teachings and, learnings through the day in terms of becoming enlightened. And he asks the teacher, what do I do after I become enlightened? And the teacher says, chop wood and carry water. It's about doing the work. The Eight of Coins is about doing the work, the internal work, the external work. This could also be just about economic insecurity, which I think is definitely a variable here. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we have, our focus changes depending on what it is that we're having to do to just get by, right? So when issues of just getting basic supplies to keep food on the table and a roof over our head, that is our focus, right? We don't have the luxury necessarily of thinking about things beyond that. When our security is at risk, if our lives are at risk for watching birds in the park or going jogging, that is our focus, right? Just staying alive to go about day-to-day life. So this is about the work. What do we have to do and where we are in that hierarchy to feel safe and secure and cared for? What is your work? Because we have the Six of Pentacles here. This is about giving and receiving, right? Typically we see as an individual giving charity to those who require it. Again, the Mythical Creatures Tarot is a gorgeous deck. I mean, I really, really love it. But it doesn't really give up too much in terms of the meaning of the cards and in the pictorial description, representation. So it's not a beginner's deck. But Six of Pentacles is about fair give and take, right? We give when we are able to, and we receive when we need. That's as challenging sometimes as being able to give charity is to be able to be open to receiving it. So this is about equality, right? Fair give and take. Do you feel as though, this is a rhetorical question, there is an equal give and take on the macro in the world or on the micro in your world right now? And I just had to laugh when I pulled this card. Different deck, different day, same card, Two Swords. This person has their truth, looking in that direction. This person has their truth, looking in their direction. Which one are we going to choose? So this top line is very much about how we create security in our lives and the choices that we have to make, right? In order, in order to ensure that. So, there are many who feel they do not have a choice but to make their voices heard, to be able to receive what it is that they're entitled to: basic life stuff, food, water, shelter, security. And they're doing the work right now. The work which is difficult and dangerous. You know, it's hard right now in New York City, and on so many different levels. It's hard, but we make a choice today. We actually do. We choose a side. The next line we have temperance. What a great representation of temperance, right? It's exactly kind of what it's about. The devil and the angel, the two sides to every story. Gemini, this is the card of Gemini. This is about balance. We have, really different, actually. I'm realizing as I'm looking at this card, it's really, there's a concept that's overused called the twin flame. And Plato's Symposium, he postulates that every human is broken apart, their soul is broken in two, and we spend our entire lives looking for that other side of ourselves, that other part of ourselves. And that's what a twin flame is. It's not always pretty, just keep in mind, twin flame relationships, because it's that, alternate side of ourselves. It's the side that whispers in our ear to do the other thing when this side wants to do that thing. So we rarely are able to stay with our twin flame. They're very volatile relationships. But temperance here is speaking of, when we have all of those portions of ourselves, whether it be a relationship or just interior, in balance, in harmony. Right now I think is about feeling comfortable in ourselves. We want to be able to come home, have a home in our, to come home to that's safe. We want to have an environment that's safe. But do you feel safe in yourself when you come home and there's no one else around, or if you have that moment of quiet? Are you comfortable in the home, which is your body, which is your mind? Is there peace there? This card is encouraging you to find it, because we are where we are. In the middle here, we have the Three of Wands reversed. So yesterday we had the Two of Swords in the middle, right? We couldn't make a choice. We saw two different truths. Now we're struggling with actually how to act, because we've made a choice. The bottom of the deck, that's funny, High Priestess. The bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. We've dropped a sword today. We're choosing a side. Now the question becomes, how do we actually manifest it? Because the Three of Wands is about the initiation, the manifestation, the actual making of plans and the first steps of carrying them out. But it's reversed here. So we've chosen a side, but now what? Is basically what the Three of Wands is saying. How are you going to bring that out into the world? Because it's an incredibly emotional decision, right? The Three of Cups reversed, to me, Three of Cups is about celebration with friends. It's often a card of weddings. We have two cups graduating to three, so it's like a relationship that we're ready to take out into the world, bring other people that we love into that circle. But it's reversed today. The Three of Cups also tells me not to overindulge. It's a caution to watch how your temper today. It could be a very volatile, very emotional day. And if there are tears to cry, please cry them. Lord knows there are plenty of reasons why that might need to happen. So again, we've chosen a side. We feel as though we know ourselves. We know both sides of the story, and we've chosen a side. The question is now, how are you going to be in the world with that decision? How are you going to carry out your day-to-day? How are you going to make that decision heard? And it could be very emotional. I guess what I'm seeing here is basically buckle your seatbelts, June 2nd. Definitely a volatile day, because we have the Eight of Wands. This is action, pure action. Some see it as communication, but it's a swift development. This happens fast. You know, if we've been seeing this Knight of Pentacles energy, slow and steady wins the race, slow and steady wins the race. That's not the energy present today. The energy present today is we're going to want to act. We've made our decision. We've chosen a side, and we are going to want to act on it. You know, because we finally have hope. And again, I'm so anxious to read the news after this because I'm really surprised to see the star here. The star is hope. It's joy. It's a new dawn. You know, it is one of the happiest cards in the tarot. This is saying, don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Chop wood and carry water. Do the work and don't lose faith. And then we have the King of Coins reversed. So the really different energy today, right? We've been seeing these coins, these earth energies for a while now. And the King of Coins has been present upright for a long time. Saying ground yourself, you know, pause, feel the earth beneath your feet before you act. That is not what we're going to be feeling today. We're going to be feeling action, movement, swift decisions based on some kind of hope that comes forward. And maybe it's just the hope that comes with finally knowing who you are, you know, integrating the light and the dark in yourself, making a decision of how you're going to move forward. And the work may be in making the plan and just letting those emotions happen. You know, it is a beyond a crazy time in the world right now, but I really do believe on the other side of this, I have to believe, my star, that on the other side of this are conversations that are finally happening, and maybe, just maybe, there will be change. The cards today suggest there will be action. The cards today suggest that we've made a decision. I'm trying my best here. I do recommend Nadia Shah, The People's Oracle, Pam Gregory as astrologers. I do think informing yourself about the importance of, and the rare occurrence of these 3 eclipses in 30 days is something that you may want to look into in your own natal chart. It's not something I do. There are plenty of people out there that do it wonderfully. What I can say today is measure once, measure twice, cut once. You know, there's going to be a desire to act, but do we have all of our ducks in a row? The 3 of Wands reverse says no. It may just be a day to feel and to chop wood and carry water. 8 of Coins. Jeez Louise. Sorry if this was a little all over the place. I can't do a take 3. I want to read the news too badly. Stay safe. Know you are loved. And I will talk with you soon.